Welcome to the second video of the channel, Sober Strength. This is Henry Bazans, and yeah, let's get into it. So today I'm planning on talking about, I can fix this, that's better lighting. Today I'm planning on talking about about how I have come to realize that sobriety, like other things in life, is if you want to commit to something, if you have a goal in mind, there is no right way to start. You just have to start taking steps to achieve that goal. And what I mean by that is you're not going to have perfect conditions always. You're not going to have everything you need or all your materials, everything like that in order. You just have to start moving. And it's not going to be perfect. A lot of the times it's going to be pretty messy, you know. You're going to have moving pieces, stuff like that. But over time, you're going to take incremental steps. I started today. I learned this the next day, then this, then this, then this. And over time, it's it's not big, it's not like big leaps. It's little teeny steps that build, that build, that build. And then over time you look back and you're like, I started here and I'm all the way up here. I love this concept. I was introduced to it by Kobe Bryant, amazing basketball player. He talks about, he's like, consistency. Every day I'm getting a little bit better. I'm not getting a lot better at once. All these little teeny steps lead to big growth over time. So, and that's why you just have to start, because if you want to see progress and you want to see growth, you just have to commit and you have to want to get better. That's another thing, is wanting to do something. Like, you have to want to be sober. There's a lot of pressures, and from peer pressures. Peer pressure is a huge thing. You know, I know my target audience is young men in college, but it's evident in high school too. You see people going out drinking. You want to be a part of that, even if drinking was never a big thing for you. It's tempting because you want to fit in, and you want to be. You feel like that's a way to get friends, and that's a way to get people to like you. People. That's not how you should get people to like you. And if people like you just because of that, they don't really like you. They just like that part of you, which may not even be who you really are. You know, a good example of this was last night for me, where I went out for the first time ever. I do Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, and some people from my gym were like, "Hey, Henry, you should." Let me shut this door. Hold on. Okay, that's better. Yeah, some people from my gym were like, "Hey, Henry, you should go out with us. We're going to go dancing at the club, blah, blah, blah." And I was like, I don't know if I want to because I'm sober. I don't like to go out. I haven't gone out before, really. They were like, "Trust me, you don't need to drink to have fun. You're going to have a great time." And, you know, I'm going to be honest, I was very skeptical and I was nervous. But I told myself I have to be uncomfortable to grow. And I just have to start and I have to do things. And yeah, I just took a risk. I went for it and I had a great time, and I didn't drink at all. My friends were really supportive. They knew that was my first time going out. They weren't pressuring me to do anything. They were there. My friend Caleb was like, "Hey, I know this might be a lot. If you need anything, let me know. We can step outside," stuff like that. And yeah, I just love having people that support you. That's key. That's another thing, is you need to start, but you need to surround yourself with people that are going to allow you to start and that are going to allow you to continue. What do I mean by that is, if you surround yourself with negativity and people saying, "Oh, you can't do this. Why are you trying to do this?" You're probably not going to do it, or you're not going to do it as eagerly as you would want to. So your support system, your environment is key. Just don't be around haters, man. Like, why would you be around haters? If people hate on you and your goals, don't be around that. That's toxic. You don't want to be with that. And yeah, talking about starting this channel for me I was nervous to do it. I was nervous to take that risk, but I was like, this is important to me. I want to talk about this. My mom's death was a huge moment in my life. It shaped the man I am today and the lessons I've learned. And it all ties into my sobriety and how that is guiding me on a path in life that I feel has been very beneficial to me. I'm very grateful for what it has taught me. I feel I'm more disciplined because of my sobriety. I feel that I am more focused. I'm able to hone in on stuff better. I don't have all these distractions, and I'm not perfect. I have my vices. Everybody does. It's just alcohol and drugs are not one of mine. They're not something I choose to partake in, and I'm really happy about that. And, you know, just going back to starting, it's not just about starting, but it's about staying consistent with what you started. You shouldn't quit just because things get hard, because that's what happens a lot. Is something gets hard and someone's like, I don't really know if I need to do this. It's okay. I don't need to do this. That is not the mindset you should have. If you started something, there's probably a good reason that you started it. It shouldn't be wishy-washy. You shouldn't just change your mind right away. You should honor your commitments and honor why you started. And just be true to who you are at the end of the day. If you start something, you should finish it. An example of that for me is college. You know, I have thoughts sometimes like, I don't want to do school. It's a lot of time I could be spent doing other stuff. But I started it and I want to finish it because it could help me teach me discipline, time routine, time management, stuff like that. And yeah, I just don't like quitting stuff. Quitting isn't fun. I'm not a quitter. But yeah. And I don't really I feel like a lot of the times for my longer form content, I'm just going to talk about stuff. It's going to be all over the place. Maybe I'll get more structured eventually, but time will tell. We will see. Yeah, so that's why I'm kind of bouncing all over the place. And another thing I want to touch on is purpose. I feel what I've realized recently is that if you have a purpose in life, it at least it gives me a sense of conviction. Like I get up every day knowing I want to preach the message of sobriety to young men. That is what my purpose is right now. I want to spread awareness and I want to help people. But your purpose is going to be different than mine. Just find your why, young man. Why do you want to get up? Why are you getting up and walking around every day? What is your goal? Who do you want to help? What do you want to do? Ask yourself these questions because in the long term, you're going to benefit from asking yourself these questions the most because at the end of the day, it's your life. And you should ask yourself, what do you want to do with it? What is your why, your conviction? Because if you're focused on something, on a goal, and it can be short term, it can be long term, whatever. But if you have something that you have in mind, then you know what you're aiming for and you're not just going through the motions. You're not just doing stuff to do it. You have a why. Oh, I'm waking up early and going to the gym because I want to get stronger, because I want to get in better shape. I'm not going out and I'm studying more because I want to do good on this test. I want to get an A in this class. That's a purpose. And smaller examples of it, but like long term is like my purpose is I want to be a doctor. And to do that, I need to study really hard in school. I need to get into medical school and stuff like that. See, if you break it down to little steps, your purpose and your goals become more attainable. And for sobriety, it could look like I want to start enacting sobriety in my life. I'm going to start doing this by cutting out drugs and alcohol. I'm going to talk to other people who are involved with sobriety and I'm going to ask them questions. Was it hard? Was it hard for you when you first stopped drinking? What are some strategies you have to cope with withdrawals? Is there any support groups? You know, what are ways that I can get healthy dopamine that isn't drugs or alcohol? Just stuff like that. Really just breaking down what you want to do into steps. And it's true with sobriety, but it's true for other aspects of your life as well. So yeah, I think I'm gonna wrap it up. Just wanted to come on here, talk about starting. Why you just gotta start stuff, man. Even it's not gonna be perfect, but just start. At the end of the day, that is what is most important. So yeah, this is Henry Bazans of Sober Strength signing off. See you guys next video.